A poor family gave birth to two children, Ranam and Chawan. One day, he left his parents and number 39 house to seek luck. The eldest, Ranam, brought two dogs and the youngest, Chawan, went alone. They walked together for a long time before reaching a turn. One goes east, and the other goes west. They decided to break up to try their luck. The place Ranam went through was all plain, without a single mountain or high mound at all. He walked day after day. Finally seeing a high hill on the horizon. He quickly approached and climaxed. He thought to himself when he saw the ground covered with porcelain vases, and quote, "This is strange." And quote, "How did they get here?" He picked them up one by one, bowls, plates and glasses. He turned the jar upside down to find the imaginary treasure. In the end, there was only one vase stuck deep into the ground. He tried to shake it and use all his strength to push it out, but it was in vain. The vase did not move. Ranam angrily took a few steps back to gain momentum and then rushed in, but strangely, the vase flew to the side as if it were as light as a feather. The young man lost his momentum and fell to the ground. "How dare you wake me up?" A deep and scary voice rang out. Ranam raised his eyes and saw a man standing in front of him. His right leg was a piece of tree trunk and his left leg was shaped like a human figure. Terrified, Ranam jumped up and ran for his life. But with just one step, the giant caught him. "Carry me to the forest," he said as he threw himself on Ranam and #39's back. "I want to rest under the cool shade of a tree." Ranam whistled to call the dogs but could N and #39's see them. He had no choice but to listen to him. Just taking a step, he collapsed because it was too heavy. The giant then ruthlessly punched him, forcing him to stand up. He took another step and then fell down again. The demon hit him again, making Ranam grit his teeth and stand up and walk away. "I can and number 39's go there," Ranam said while crying, but the giant didn't and #39's care. At that moment, a herd of wild goats ran through the field. Ranam said, "Let me catch one. I will use its skin to braid a rope to tie you to my back so it will be easier to carry." The giant did not see any trick in this matter and jumped off Ranam and #39's back. He ran around trying to catch goats but to no avail. He got lost among the wild animals and finally found himself in a large forest field. "I wish I could find a shelter," he thought to himself. Immediately he saw a dark hole under the bushes. It was the entrance to a small cave. He crawled in and hid forever at the bottom of the cave. The giant sat down on the ground and waited for Ranam. A long while later, he lost all patience. It was true that the boy had run away. Extremely angry at being tricked, he stood up to find Ranam. Knowing clearly that the giant was approaching because even at the bottom of the cave, he could still feel the ground shaking after each step he took. And quote, "He will find me," and quote, Ranam thought to himself in fear. Suddenly he heard a dog barking. He was so happy that he whistled softly. A few moments later the dogs ran to him in the dark cave. When the giant arrived, they jumped out and jumped on him, biting their sharp teeth into his flesh and eating him. A moment later, the giant had only his right leg left, which was a wooden trunk. Ranam came out of the cave and petted his dogs. He looked curiously at the tree trunk and said to himself, "And quat. I will use it to light a fire. This time I will catch the goat and grill it." And quat. He pulled the axe out of his pocket and cut the tree trunk in half. Strangely enough, a group of camels came out from the tree trunk. A female camel with fur as white as snow looked up at him with black velvet eyes. Ranam was fascinated by the animal. He thought for a moment and then thought that he had found the wealth he expected, so he decided to return home. Meanwhile, Chawan also went to many places and went to the desert. Membrane. A group of wild dogs were hunting there. In the sky, vultures and crows were hovering in the hope of getting some leftovers from the dogs. Chawan understood the dogs very well, seeing that this group of dogs was very brave and agile. He liked it very much. He approached the leader and spoke while slowly approaching it. When they became close friends, Chawan also thought he had found the property he wanted, so he decided to return, the leading dog walking beside him, the others following. The two brothers met again at the intersection. "What day should I turn?" Very happy to see each other again, they sat under the shade of a tree to tell each other about their adventures. "Please get some camels," Ranam suggested when he saw that he was luckier than his younger brother. "Take as much as you want, but leave me the white camel." Chawan looked at the animal and found it truly beautiful, so he begged me to give it to him. "Me? No way," Ranam answered decisively. "If you want, you can take the whole herd of camels, but that white camel is not possible." The two brothers set off to return to the village. They walked for a long time until they came to the bank of a stream. Chawan said, "It and number 39's hot like this. The water must be very hot too. Let and number 39's dig a deep hole for the water to flow in and cool down. That way we will be able to drink cool water." The sun begins to lean towards the west. The two brothers dug a deep well and covered it with a flat stone slab. After finishing their work, they went to bed and didn't and #39's wake up until the next morning. Chawan woke up first and drank all the water in the well. When his brother woke up, he said, "The water is so clear and cool, like water flowing down from a rock." Ranam came closer, knelt down at the mouth of the well and stuck his head out to drink when his younger brother stood behind him. "Push him hard." Ranam could N and #39's grab anything in time, lost his balance and fell to the bottom of the well. Chawan ordered his dogs to attack and bite Ranam and #39's children to death. When he finished, he used a flat rock to cover the mouth of the well. "You will never escape from here," he said happily. "All your camels will belong to me, including that white camel." When he arrived at the village, everyone ran out to see. Chawan was very rich. His herd of cattle was large and beautiful, his dogs were proud, and especially he had a white female camel of indescribable charm. Everyone held a party to celebrate him. The talented boy was very noisy, but no one realized that there was a white bird spreading its wings in the sky, repeating over and over again, "Chawan killed my brother." That and number 39's a traitor and a liar. No one heard it except Chawan and #39's younger sister. She signaled and the bird flew and landed near her. "Follow me." It said, "I will lead you to your brother." The girl hesitated for a moment, then followed the bird. It flew in the sky very slowly with just the little girl and number 39's footsteps. In the evening, they went to the dug well. The bird used its wings to show the girl the rock. She had to use all her strength to push the rock out of the well. Looking down, she was horrified to see her brother and number 39's body floating on the water. After tireless efforts, she finally pulled her brother and number 39's body to the surface. She cried bitterly, hugged his body tightly, tried to breathe for him, and a miracle happened. Ranam began to move. He opened his eyes in surprise when he saw his sister next to him. "What are you doing here?" "He asked me so. Where is Chawan?" "I will tell you on the way back, but for now, let and number 39's go back." "I gave him all the camels," Ranam told his sister. "On the way home everything if he wanted, except the white camel. Without it, he could n and hash 39's be happy." Chawan also heard the white bird speak that day. He worriedly noticed his sister and number 39's absence. Thinking that Ranam would return and fearing the sad fate that awaited him, he called the dogs and left. From that day on, no one saw them again. Time passed. Ranam always took care of the stray. Careful white leather. Now he was the richest man in the village. One day a flock of sparrows entered the tree branch under which the white camel was resting. In their mouths, each one holds a piece of gold. The flock of birds was so large that not a single leaf could be seen. Suddenly, everyone opened their beaks, and a golden rain fell gently on the camel. It suddenly deformed, shrinking to the size of a newly born baby camel. The white bird appeared again in the sky. It spread its wings over the baby camel and number 39's head, and the camel burst into tears. Large tears rolled down his cheeks, fell to the ground and turned into precious gems. Ranam was stunned when he saw the wealth fall into his hands. Ranam bent down to caress the camel, and from the animal and number 39's skin, a girl appeared. Young girl walks out. "Hello." Ranam said. "Who are you?" "Don and number 39's. You recognize me?" The girl acts again. "No. But she has gentle eyes like the white camel that once looked at me," he said sadly, pointing to the camel and number 39's body lying on the ground. "I loved it, I know." "Bow. He can also love me. I am that camel." Ranam was stunned and looked at the beautiful young girl. She was more beautiful than any girl in the village. "I am your daughter." She continued. "I was turned into a camel by the desert queen to take revenge on my father. The day before, he had rejected her love to marry his mother, who was just the daughter of a fisherman. Only if there is an honest and kind man who truly loves me and kills the giant, will he be able to save me? Do you want me to take you to your father and number 39's dragon palace?" "It and number 39's impossible. Because then I will have to suffer another curse. Then your parents will miss you very much," Ranam said worriedly. "My mother passed away a long time ago. She is immortal, so she cannot be immortal. As for my father, I saw you just now. But the sea is very far from here." Ranam said in surprise. 7 mountain ranges and 7 deserts away. The princess smiled and said, "That big bird from before is my father." He knew that today the curse would expire, so he and his servants brought the dowry. Ranam timidly approached the girl, looked lovingly into her eyes and held her in his arms. "Do you want to be my wife?" he whispered. An axe. Ranam lived happily with his princess. The queen of the desert could no longer harm her because that girl with velvet eyes was protected by her husband and number 39's love. Thank you for joining us for today's fairy tale. We hope these stories bring joy and meaning to your day. If you love our channel, please hit the subscribe button so you won't miss any exciting tales. Wishing you a good night and sweet dreams. See you in the next story.